Hi everyone, welcome to the special Friday the 13th reading. So you may already be aware at this point, since I've said it so many times, it's my birthday today. And I wanted to do this reading to sort of honor and acknowledge divine feminine energy, because as I've said, I've come to learn that divine feminine energy is connected to Friday the 13th, allegedly. So I'm going to read you a quick little sort of quote, bit of information that I learned about Friday the 13th. So it's classed as the day of the divine feminine. And it says, before patriarchal times, Friday the 13th was considered the day of the goddess. It was considered a day to worship the divine feminine that lives in us all and to honor the cycles of creation and death and rebirth. Friday the 13th was considered a very powerful day to manifest, honor creativity, and to celebrate beauty, wisdom, and nourishment of the soul. The number 13 also holds an extremely potent feminine energy and is considered to be the number of death and rebirth, creation, fertility, and blood. This is because we have 13 moon cycles every year, and the average female also experiences 13 periods per year. So to any other people out there whose birthdays are on today and have birthdays on Friday the 13th, if you were born on the 13th, then happy birthday. So as you can see in front of me, when we speak of divine feminine energy, it's basically all of the queens in the tarot rolled into one, which is the Empress, isn't it? It's that. So we have the Queen of Cups here. She is very intuitive. She's the psychic. She's well known as the mother. You've got the fishes here. You've got the water, which is connected to intuition. She's very caring, very loving, very attuned to her emotions. She's not afraid to express her emotions as well. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, who is very nurturing and connected to nature. You can see a pentacle there that she's sort of cradling and protecting, like it's almost like it's a baby. It's pentacles are money, but it's not so much about money here. It's more about what she values, and that includes herself as well, and she nurtures what she values. You then have the Queen of Wands. So the cards I've picked are like my favourite depictions of the queens from different tarot decks. So she's very vibrant, it's fiery energy, it's passion. She can also be known as the witch. She's got her wand there. She's very attractive, not just physically, but in terms of being able to manifest and attract things to her. Very spiritual as well. You also have the Queen of Swords. So she's the wise one. She can be the advisor. Very highly intelligent. She's got her sword of truth. Her truth guides her. She's got a look of knowing on her face, and she's willing to, not only does she share her truth, but she's willing to have other people bring their truths to her as well. And then, as I say, all the four queens make the Empress, so she's all of them. Very connected to nature. She's pregnant, she's a mother, she creates, she's very nurturing, she's very generous, but she also sort of has her own kingdom that she rules as well, and she's very protective too, very powerful as well. So let's get these out of the way. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using the tarot cards yet. I have the Everyday Witch Tarot with me, just in case. I am focusing more on oracle cards, and I think the primary deck will be the Isis Oracle, which for me feels like a very divine feminine deck. I haven't had it very long, probably about a month or so, give or take, but I need to start using it more. So I thought I'd use it for this reading. So I have some questions. I have 6 questions that I want to kind of ask our divine feminine energy collectively and individually, I guess. And it's like asking our divine feminine energy to answer the questions that we have to enlighten us, basically. So the first question is, what do we need to know about our divine feminine energy as a collective on this date, Friday the 13th of October 2023? So let's get into it. What do we need to know? We have 3, and am I going to take them? Yes. So the first message, you can see the image there, it says, the brother in darkness. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. You shall overcome any negativity, any negative energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. So we have had Pluto going direct in Capricorn, and that's about transformation. So with transformations, I think there are often energies that we need, like energetic debris that we need to clear, sometimes negative energy, so that can be relevant to that. We have life restored as well, this message here. Is that a scarab on here? Might be. Right, it says spiritual resurrection. I guess that's transformation, isn't it? Is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. So yes, that is a bit of a transformative card. And then the last message we have is High Priestess. And for me, High Priestess is divine feminine energy as well, isn't it? It's that intuition. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize that what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you are being led and for what purpose. So there is quite a transformative kind of energy, which again, as I said, with Pluto going direct in Capricorn, I mean, Capricorn is connected to purpose, isn't it? To career, but not just career, purpose in general. And as I say, Pluto is connected to Scorpio, so that's the whole transformation side of things. So it may be heavily about transformation at this time. So I'm going to put these back. The next question I want to ask the cards are, what are our challenges with divine feminine energy at this time? And am I going to use this deck for that? I may not. I think I may use a different deck for this question. So I think I am going to use the African Goddess Rising deck to answer this particular question, which is, what are our challenges with divine feminine energy at this time? So let's see what we get from this deck to answer that question. So challenges with our divine feminine energy at this time. Okay. Ooh, self-sabotage. You know what? I've had that rage card in my head, the sacred rage card, so I thought it might be that, but no, we've got self-sabotage here. So if you are transforming, and look, it's a snake as well. I believe snakes are often to do with with shedding skins and transformation as well. So let's read that message if I can get the book, since I've put it so far away from myself. So that's number 24. So this is Mam Lambo, self-sabotage. So there may be some of us out there who are self-sabotaging at present, or have the potential to do that. So Shadow Monster Mam Lambo is the brain-sucking, snake-like, water-dwelling Zulu goddess of rivers. Mam Lambo's shadow guidance says, you are holding yourself apart from your blessings. What ancient pain are you trying to stuff down, numb, ignore, or avoid? What does your self-sabotage help you to avoid? Your inner saboteur is clever. Seductive patterns of behavior block your path and your power. Distractions, addictions, cravings, and unhealthy habits will not bring you your best. Your inner bully is the voice telling you messed up, the part of you that is jealous, the anger you don't know what to do with, your stuck inner procrastinator, and your toxic relationship choices. Stop terrorizing yourself with broken promises of discipline. Instead, choose devotion to your chosen pathways. What inspired action can you take today? The Goddess Declaration says, I have compassion for myself. So it did give examples. I was going to mention procrastination actually as a form of self-sabotage. You know, like if you've wanted to do something for a very long time or needed to, and you keep putting it off. People pleasing is another form of self-sabotage, isn't it? Because you're not honouring yourself. So yeah, that's something that we need to be aware of at present, is where we are sabotaging ourselves and not honouring ourselves. So the next question I want to ask is, how can we allow our divine feminine energy to guide and enlighten us at this time? And for this one, I will be using, do I want to use the Isis Oracle again for this? I think I will. And if I feel like I need anything else, I will use another deck as well. So let's see what the Isis Oracle says about this. How can we allow our divine feminine energy to guide and enlighten us at this time? Okay, we get 3. So I may not need anything else with this many cards. So you have this one first. Divine Sun Child, it says, blessings of the sun flow to you now. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright and without veil, just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert. It is your time to shine bright. So again, if there's any sort of self-sabotage in terms of procrastination, don't hold back, honor yourself. That whole thing of shining your light, be who you are, and follow through on the things that you want to follow through on. So next you have this one here. Actually, I should turn them that way, shouldn't I, really? And it says, the dark healing chamber, the most challenging task is to take courage in both hands and journey within to meet our own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light to it. The sacred purpose of any enemy, within or without, is to push us to venture inwards, to seek and heal the darkness within. So that's about shadow work, I believe. That's about facing your shadow side. So to the divine feminine energy at this time can guide and enlighten us partly by facing our shadow side. And you don't really think of that with divine feminine energy very often, do we? We just think of it of being all light and positive, but there is a shadow side. So I think being overly generous and giving too much to others is one way, one sort of shadow version of divine feminine energy. So that's the final message here for this question, Truths Unveiled. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you. When you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you, you may think there is something wrong with you, but actually you are intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be. Trust what you feel, not what appears to be. So that's intuition 100%, isn't it? How you can allow the divine feminine energy to guide and enlighten you. It's intuition. And so sometimes this happens in relationships. I don't know if you've ever been involved with someone where you always felt anxious with them. And I don't mean like nervous excitement, but literally like you always have a knot in your stomach and feel on edge. And we push that aside sometimes, and I'm not sure why we do it. But that's a sign that the person or the situation isn't right. And does it mean the person's a complete asshole? It could. It could just mean that the person's not right for you. They may not be ready for a relationship. So even if they're not an absolutely horrific person, they're just not in the right place. One example I've given twice in the last 2 weeks is a job I had where I just had this horrific feeling of being on edge from the time I signed the contract and started the job all through until several months later when I left. And the short version of the story is that there was a person there that appeared to want me out. They wanted to get rid of me. So they did something that wasn't very pleasant as a way of pushing me out. And I eventually did leave. And I've said before, they had a mask slip. When I told them that I was leaving, they had a split second of an expression on their face where they looked like the cat that got the cream. I don't know if anybody's heard that expression. And it was like a mask slip. And then it went from that, like looking like they were completely overjoyed that I was leaving, to being like, oh, I'm surprised, or pretending to be surprised. But yeah, so that gut feeling of going to that job and feeling that horrible sense of being on edge and anxiety for several months, it was a sign. It wasn't just me being nervous and thinking, oh yeah, it's just I've never done this before, I'm just a bit nervous. It was my gut instinct telling me this is wrong. So yeah. So the next question I want to ask is, how can we share divine feminine energy and utilize it for the greater good at this time? So for this one, I think I'm going to use the Unicorns deck, Oracle of the Unicorns, and see what comes out for that, and maybe Sacred Destiny actually as well. So let's get a card from the Oracle of the Unicorns deck first of all. Right, so how we can share our divine feminine energy and utilize it for the greater good at this time. So this is quite a big deck for my small hands to shuffle, but we have a message. We have prosperity. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. I mean, that's not really sharing, is it? Unless you share your prosperity and use it to take care of your family. So let me get another message. So I would say share your prosperity. It doesn't mean to say give away everything you have, but use it wisely. Use it to, I mean, what do we use money for? We use money to, obviously we use it to support ourselves day to day, but we use it to enjoy experiences with others. If you have children, you use it to take care of them. For people that you care about, you buy them gifts. You have experiences with them that often cost money, not all of the time, but yeah, sharing it. So anything else about how, it's gone, how we can share our divine feminine energy. So that's generosity, wouldn't it? Prosperity, it's being generous towards others, right? Intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide. Trust your intuition no matter what. So because it mentions divination, that could literally mean if you are someone that is into spiritual stuff, you could be a tarot reader as well, using that to help the greater good. Or if you're a psychic, if you're a witch, healer, any of those things, you can use that to help others. And it's not just spiritual things either. It's like you could be a care worker. That's a way of using divine feminine energy to help others. That nurturing, caring energy, support work, nursing even. There are many different ways. And I think, shall I get one from the Sacred Destiny deck as well? I think I will. So how we can share and utilize our divine feminine energy for the greater good. See if it gives us anything different. We have transformation. So I will take that, and I will take one more, and I do have something to say about that actually. That literally flew across the room for some strange reason. You have gateway. Okay, I have no idea for that one, but I'll get to the transformation card first of all. I may look in the book at the gateway card. So with the transformation card, you may have seen I did a video on spiritual awakening, and I feel like in that video I said that one of the things we can do is share our experiences of spiritual awakening and our experiences in general, like sharing stories, talking to people about things, because that can help other people and us to get through things, to get through life. So when you go through transformations, sharing those experiences with others and listening to their stories, it can be useful. I guess actually that can be a gateway, can't it? I was going to say I didn't know why gateway was there, but that can be a gateway to help others. I will look in the book. I don't think there's anything else I can add to that. This is more of a magical gateway kind of card. So for me, there's nothing else I can really add to that. That's very specifically relevant. I mean, the only other thing I would say in terms of gateways is assistance to other people, to help them in terms of creating a gateway or a stepping stone for them to achieve certain things. So if we have knowledge, to share our knowledge, yeah, that's one thing that you could do to help the greater good in terms of gateways. So teaching, that's a gateway, isn't it? Teaching is. So next, the next question I have is, how can we tap into our divine feminine energy more at this time? Or if we feel like we're not tapped into it at all, then how do we tap into it? So for this one, I am gonna use, what do I want to use for this one? I think for this one, I will use, I'm really not sure at this point what I want to use. I think we'll go for the Isis Oracle again. So how can we tap into our divine feminine energy more at this time? And if I don't get anything that feels like it's enough, then I'll get another message. Why is it always 3 that come out? Is it just a coincidence that 3 keep coming out? Okay. So I doubt I'm going to be getting anything else with 3 of these. So this is the first message here. And it says soul retrieval. Isis, healing goddess, now offers you spiritual restoration and deep soul healing through the art of soul retrieval, reclaiming pieces of you lost through trauma, old and new. Soon you will enjoy greater wellness, energy, and power, so be willing to go through the healing process, knowing that any emotional clearing taking place is leading you to wholeness. So that's kind of transformation again, isn't it? But transformation in terms of reclaiming yourself, because I feel like I've heard this quote more than once about we become more of who we are, and things, and there's something also about unlearning the things we've been taught to become who we really are as well. So that's what that soul retrieval card makes me think of. That's a way of tapping more into your divine feminine energy. I mean, I could start talking about patriarchy and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I do have views about it, but yeah, don't need to get too much into that right now. If anybody wants to leave comments about that, what they think, then that may be useful. But here's your next message. It says, Mother of life, when life seems dry, depleted, filled with repetitive tasks, or simply stagnant and stifled, Isis, the mother of life, holds the ability to revive even the most numb, resistant, and difficult circumstances in your life. She calls to you now, seeking to bestow gifts of life upon you. Be bold and brave, open your arms and receive. So this is about, for me, it feels like being that receptive kind of energy. And I forgot to mention that with, I think it was all of the queens actually, that divine feminine energy is very receptive, isn't it? It's not that you sit around waiting for everything to happen to you and for you, but it is a very receptive energy. Okay, so be prepared to receive. That's another way of tapping into divine feminine energy. And then we have divine destiny. The divine warrior is within you, helping you to continue with a worthy path even during times of difficulty. When faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. It might be by bringing more wisdom, focus, or intelligence, or surrendering into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination. So that's about not giving up, isn't it? Never giving up, or trying never to give up, no matter what you're going through. Remember all of your past experiences, learn from every experience, and then that will help you to get through. Do I want to get anything else for how we can tap into our divine feminine energy more? I feel like I do. I'm going to use the African Goddess Rising deck for this. See if it tells us anything else. Yep. We have Secrets Revealed. So that one says, so Goddess of Secrets Revealed, Queen of Sheba. In the Bible, the wealthy Queen of Sheba brings a caravan of gifts to King Solomon. The Ethiopian holy book reveals that she was their queen, Makeda, and that together they sired King Menelik I. Queen of Sheba's guidance is open your eyes, secrets are being revealed. It is safe for you to see the truth. Your inner vision is crystal clear. The embodiment says, you don't know what you don't know. Your creator, ancestors, angels, spirits, and ascended masters are whispering to you. This is divine intelligence. Pay close attention. There are things you do not let yourself see. Allow yourself to be guided. Choose your own path. The goddess declaration says, I am connected to the divine. And again, that's intuition, isn't it? Being tapped into the spiritual, being open to messages, signs, and that's in everyday life. Doesn't have to necessarily mean you're literally going to get some kind of psychic message. It can be anything. We see messages all over the place. It can be in a book, it could be on a number plate, it could be in something that you hear in a conversation that other people are talking about, it could be in a movie, it could be anything. But being open to messages, open to knowledge, open to wisdom. So the final question is, how can we honor our divine feminine energy? So I'm thinking, okay, I think we've had quite a lot from the Isis Oracle. So I think I'm going to go for the unicorn deck for this. Do I want to go for the Sacred Destiny cards as well? I think I might. So let's get a unicorn card first of all. So how we can honor our divine feminine energy. How can we honor our divine feminine energy at this time? Okay, we've got a few. We have, first of all, Sanctuary. So that one says, take time out from the world, spend more time alone, meditate, or go on a retreat. That sounds like my perfect version of honoring my divine feminine energy, a bit of peace and quiet, and making sure that you have have your own sanctuary as well, whether it is that you have a room that you have to yourself where you can have peace and quiet, or if you do go out in nature for it as well. Right, leadership. Step into your leadership, share your messages, inspire and empower others. Again, that's like sharing your stories, isn't it? And listening to other people's stories as well to help you move forward, to learn. Leadership, taking control of your own life. Allow the stories that other people have to share and what you have to share to lead you and guide you as well. So we will get something from the Sacred Destiny deck as well to wrap things up, and that will be the final message. So what else do we need to know about how we can honor our divine feminine energy? That wanted to hit the candle, didn't it? So we have focus, and I would say that's about focusing on your intentions, to be honest. And honoring your intentions, and we get solitude again. Is there someone out there who really needs some peace and quiet and rest and a break with this solitude card? For me, solitude, yes, it is about sanctuary and resting, but it's also about cutting out like the outside noise, giving yourself time. You know, we talked about a lot about intuition here, and to be able to focus as well. Sometimes you need to to literally cut out all of the noise, the interference from other people with everything that's going on in life, busyness, etc., to be able to focus and think clearly and get intuitive hits as well. So is there anything else? Do I want to get another card? I think I might get a final card from the Isis Oracle deck, because I don't know if I'm going to be using it that often in readings. I may not. So let's get one more card of how we can honor our divine feminine energy from the Isis Oracle deck, and hopefully it will be one rather than three, because three seem to like coming out at the same time. At last, just one. I feel like I should get one from the other deck as well. No, yeah, I might as well get one from the African Goddess Rising deck as well. So we have this one here, which is Goddess of 10,000 Names. It says, if you have felt constrained by a role, name or identity and are wishing for assistance in growing beyond it, or if you have sensed a new role or identity calling you into a greater expression and would love some divine help in that growth, this oracle indicates that the help you need is already with you, urging your growth from within. So this feels like authenticity. It feels like it's about authenticity, being yourself, letting go of any kind of people pleasing or allowing anyone to define who you are. So that's another way you can honor your divine feminine energy. And I said I was going to get a final card from the African Goddess Rising deck, since I've got one from every other deck in the reading. So how can we honor our divine feminine energy? I knew that Rage card was going to come up somewhere. It had to. I had a feeling. So you have the Rage card. And where's the book? So let's put that one here. And you also have Shame as well. I'll put that one there. Let's put this in the middle for aesthetics, of course. So the Rage card, Medusa. Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth, this Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage, is sacred, epic, and fully justified. And this actually kind of goes with this card here, actually. You are pissed off and petrified, angry and shaking, but underneath that you are hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. Take a breath, close your eyes, and put both hands over your lower abdomen. Tune into the part of you that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing, golden light. Now put both hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. Sacred rage inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies, but unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. Get clear on what is really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened does not mean you are being threatened. The Goddess Declaration says, I have a right to feel my feelings. And I think that's where I was going. When I mentioned earlier about I could talk about the patriarchy. In terms of freedom of expression, sometimes with that patriarchal energy, it can try to kind of restrict expression and emotion. So, and when I say, I don't mean men specifically, I just mean the energy of it's a controlling energy, isn't it? Yeah, hard to explain what I mean, but I think you'll get it. So let's look at that shame card as well. So shadow of shame. So it says, long Bobby Susie keeps the children of Belize terrified. Viewed as a shadow monster, she has the power to kill or to nurture with her long, scary breasts that contain milk and poison. This beautiful Afro-Indigenous spirit may be a distortion of the Arawak Taino moon goddess Atabe. Long Bobby Susie's shadow guidance says, you are beautiful and loved. Every part of you and your journey is beautiful. Even in the ugliest moments, you have a heart, soul, and breath that makes you beautiful. You are secretly scared that you are not enough. Shame is lying to you. You are not broken, unlovable, ugly, or unworthy. Shame keeps you small and hiding. Accept yourself now. You are a bright light. Allow yourself to see who you really are. You are doing the very best you can. You are lovable and you are complete. The Goddess Declaration says, I am protected. So again, that's about honoring your emotions. Don't feel that you have to push anything down that you feel. You have to sort of, well, you don't have to, but it helps if you acknowledge everything that's within you. And I think we mentioned earlier in one of the questions about the shadow side, integrating the shadow side, which we talk a lot about in the in spiritual communities as well, because it's if you push it down, it's like a pressure cooker, isn't it? It's gonna pop up again at some point, or it's gonna explode. So there you have it. That's the reading. That's probably one of the shorter readings that I've done, because I am known for long readings. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you take something useful away from it and that you have a new perspective on Friday the 13th. So as usual, feel free to share the video, like it if you want to, leave comments, or if you want to, subscribe to the channel. But until the next video, take care.